justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. My salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Through Ali. Amen. Please understand. I give praise to Allah. Father of the universe. I give honor to the noble prophet. To Ali. Founder of the More Science Temple of America. I give honor to Brother Marcus God. Praise the way for the prophet. As John the Baptist did for Jesus. I give honor to all our past leaders of the More Science Temple of America. Brother C. Cutman Bay. Brother F. Nelson Bay. J. Blakely Bay. Brother R. Loville. I give honor to our President, Grand Sheik and Moderator. Brother R. Jones Bay. I give honor to all elected officials. National and local. I give honor to all auxiliaries. I give honor to all things that the prophet brought from the uplifting of fallen humanity.
All things that the prophet brought for the uplifting of fallen humanity.
Salvation of God unity, the More Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws, Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of the More Science Temple of America is bound to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the More Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs, in dealings according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and is known for the members of the More Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed properly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is a holy day of rest because on Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on Friday the first man departed out of flesh. The sinner to his Father God. And that calls Friday. Friday is holy day of all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced. All members of the More Science Temple of America. No members to put in danger or accuse false his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister because of Allah. It's love. Act 4. All members must observe the holy and divine laws. And all members must obey the laws of the government. Because by being Marsh American, you are a part and a parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the More Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the state government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained noble to Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish members are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, what happened? Northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all uplifting acts of the More Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep alive with all necessities of the More Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faith. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband to take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother in the industrials. Be one part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish members must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant from the holy prophet. Number 2, Ali, through the guidance of his Father God, Allah. Number 2, Ali, founder, Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. By night and by day, through his holy prophet, through Ali. Amen. We'll now read from our additional laws by the prophet, noble to Ali. Act 1. Grand chiefs and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses. Each said temple must be approved by the prophet, noble to Ali. Before acting upon by any members, let it be Friday his property or any line of life that will cause a member to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause support of any group of members. Any form of offer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office and have restricted section by the prophet, Mother Mary She. Act 2. All members are to attend the added meetings and the public meetings promptly. If members found standing around in the 3 meeting period shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second meeting will be fined $1, which will go in the emergency fund. Members' workers' monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moral Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Act 3. It is lawful in divine duty of every good member. He is able to find his aid in saving the nation. And if he does not, he then the cause of uplifting his own people, justice must catch. Let it be he or she, according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. As I have the power in this in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not be an assertion against the American flag, must be battle against any church, that is a church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings. Go back on that. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school. And the teacher must confirm the questionnaire. And every member exercises 5 cents in school, they will do so, because up from Sunday school becomes the guidance of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. We are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, know that they are not Negroes, colorful black people, or Ethiopians. Because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders, the 1779 will last from 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by them in which they live, the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained noble Jew Ali the prophet to redeem his people in simple ways. The ocean Americas are descendants of ancient Moabites who inhabit the northwest and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all the living acts of the Lord's Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Lord's Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faith. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband, take care of your children, and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting and forming humanity. All motion girls will keep their hearts and minds pure of love, and their bodies clean with water. This divine comes from the holy prophet, the Jew Ali, for the guidance of his Father God, Allah. Peace. And I read from the Holy Koran by the prophet noble to Ali. Teaching that will get your life in order if we study and then if we apply. And I'll just be on page 3. Know thyself, and thy Father God honor. The industrious acts of the Muslims from northwest and southwest Africa. These are the Moabites, Hammonites, Canaanites, who were driven out of the land of Canaan by Joshua, and received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in that portion of Egypt. In later years, they formed themselves kingdoms. These kingdoms are called this day Morocco, Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, etc. Peace. Islam. We're blessed to have another day, another Sunday school. Allah's given us another day to get it right. His love and mercy has given us another day to get it right. Good to see you all. At this time, I'm going to call for our Sunday school instructor, Lar Jones Bay, Grand Sheikh Moderator of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Islam.
Allah, the universe, for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, through all need. Amen.
Let's start with the question. Who made you?
Allah.
Who is Allah?
Allah is the Father of the universe.
Can we see it?
No.
Where is the nearest place to be?
In the heart.
Who is Noble Jurah?
He is Allah's prophet.
What is a prophet?
Prophet is the thought of Allah manifested in the flesh.
What is the duty of a prophet?
To save nations from the wrath of Allah.
Who is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America?
Noble Jurah.
What year was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
1913-80.
Where?
Newark, New Jersey.
Where was Noble Jurah born?
In the state of North Carolina, 1886.
What is his nationality?
Moorish American.
What is your nationality?
Moorish American.
Why are we Moorish American?
Because we are descendants of Moroccans born in America.
For what purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
For the uplifting of fallen humanity.
How did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish America?
By teaching them to be themselves.
Which is our religion?
Islamism.
Is that a new or is that the old kind?
Old time religion.
What kind of a flag is
It is a red flag with a 5-pointed star in the center.
What do the 5 points represent?
Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
How old is our flag?
It is over 10,000 years old.
Which is our holy day?
Friday.
Why?
Because Friday is the day in which man formed in flesh, and on Friday when he departed out of flesh.
Who was Jesus?
He was a prophet of Allah.
Where was he born?
In Bethlehem of Judah in the house of David.
Who were his father and mother?
Joseph and Mary.
Will you give in brief the line genealogy through which Jesus came?
Some of the great fathers through which Jesus came are Abraham, Boaz by Ruth, Jesse, King David, Solomon, Hezekiah, Joseph by Mary.
Why did Allah send Jesus to this earth?
To save the Israelites from the iron and the oppression of pale skin to Europe who governed in Persian Palestine at that time.
How long has that been?
About 2,000 years ago.
What was the nationality of Ruth?
Ruth was a Moabitess.
What is the modern name for Moabite?
Moroccans.
Where is the Moroccan Empire?
Northwest of Mexico.
What is the modern name for Mexico?
Africa.
What is the title given to our ruler in Morocco?
Sultan.
Where do we get the name Jesus?
From the east.
What does the name Jesus mean?
Jesus means justice.
Did the angel give to the child that was called Jesus a holy name?
Yes, but it cannot be used by those who are slaves to sin.
What is an angel?
An angel is the thought of Allah manifested in human flesh.
What are angels used for?
Carry a message to the four corners of the world to all nations.
What is our prophet to us?
He's an angel of Allah who is sent to bring us the everlasting gospel of Allah.
What is the everlasting gospel?
It is a saving power that comes from Allah through our nature of authorized prophet.
What is the covenant of the great God Allah?
Honor thy father and thy mother, that the days may be long upon the earth in which the Lord Allah hath given thee.
At what age did Jesus begin to teach?
At the age of 12,
Where did he teach?
India, Africa, Europe,
How long did he teach?
18 years.
What did Jesus say that would make you free?
Truth.
What is truth?
Truth is all.
What is hope?
All is Allah.
Can truth change?
Truth cannot change or pass away.
What other name do we give to truth?
Holy breath.
What have you to say about holy breath?
All we can say, it is great, it is good, it was, it is, and ever more to be. Amen.
At what place on earth was the physical part of man formed?
In the Garden of Eden,
Where is the Garden of Eden?
in the land of Canaan, the city of Mecca.
What is the modern name for the Garden of Eden?
Mecca.
What is the name of the first physical man?
His name cannot be used only by executive rules of the AC of the MSTFA.
What are the words of AC of the MSTFA?
The craft chamber was a moral science temple of America, Third Avenue.
Who were Adam and Eve?
They are the mothers and fathers of the human family, Asiatics and Muslims.
Where did they go?
They went into Asia.
What is the modern name given to their children?
Asiatics,
Who is guarding the holy city of Mecca today to keep the unbelievers away?
angels,
What is the modern name for those names?
Asiatics,
What is the shade of their skin?
olive.
Are the Moorish Americans any relation to those names?
Yes, we all have the same father and mother.
Give 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve.
Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and beast.
What is the devil sometimes called?
The Lord self,
How many cells are there?
2,
Name them.
higher self and lower self.
What people represent the higher self?
The angels who protect the holy city of Mecca.
What people represent the lower self?
Those who are cast out of the holy city and those who accept their teachings.
What is the higher self?
The higher self is the mother of virtues and the harmonies of life, peace, justice, mercy, love, and right.
Can the higher self pass away?
No,
Why?
because it is following
What does the lower self do?
hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything else.
What did the higher self say to the lower self at one time when we met?
Where are you going, Satan?
What was the answer that the lower self gave to the higher self?
I am going to rule the earth, seeking whom I may devour.
Has he finished his task of devouring?
Yes,
When was his time declared out?
when you nailed Jesus on the cross.
What are the last words of Jesus uttered?
It is finished.
What did he have reference to?
He had reference to the end of Satan.
Did Jesus say that he would return to conquer?
Yes,
What is the name of the person into whom Jesus was first reincarnated?
Prophet Muhammad.
Was Satan to be bound in?
Satan was to be bound in part.
When was the head of Satan taken off?
1453 Byzantine.
By whom?
By Muhammad.
Name some of the marks that were put upon the Moors of the Northwest by the European nations in 1774.
Negro, black, colored in Ethiopia.
Negro.
A name given to a river in West Africa by Moors because it contains black water.
What is meant by the word black?
Black, according to science, means death.
What does the word colored mean?
Color means anything that has been painted, stained, varnished, or dyed.
What does Ethiopia mean?
Ethiopia means something divided.
Can a man be a Negro, colored, black, or Ethiopian?
No,
Why?
because man is made in the image and after the likeness of God.
What title does Satan give himself?
God.
Will you define the word right?
White means purity, purity means God, God means ruler of the land.
To whom do we refer to at times as being the great God?
Allah.
Is the devil made in the image and likeness of Allah?
No, he's a shadow of our Lord, so to pass away.
Who made the devil?
Elohim.
Who is Elohim?
Elohim is the 7 created spirits that created everything that ever was, is, and ever more to be.
What is Elohim sometimes called?
The 7 eyes of Allah.
How many days are in the circle?
7 days.
How many days are in a creation?
7 days.
According to science, how many days are in a year?
7 days.
Praise the Lord. Okay. You know, I was a little hesitant because you can sense something in the ether. Praise the Lord. You can sense it.
Yes, sir.
And so that sensing causes you to maybe become a little, what? Unsettled, exactly. Because what are you trying to do? Get the balance. That's right, man. We're trying to regain balance from a moment of turbulence. We can't proceed until there's what? Balance. And that's what we must learn how to do. Remember, we must learn how to be in control of ourselves so that we can always bring about what? Harmony. What, babe? A harmonious condition. A harmonious condition is appropriate for what? Learning. Thank you. We must always maintain a harmonious condition for the purpose of learning. Because if there's not harmony, what exists?
Chaos.
Inharmony.
Chaos.
That's right.
Disruption.
That's right.
Confusion.
Right. And a fertile soil for unpleasant thinking.
That's right. That's right.
And what we want to do, we want to learn how to control the condition so that we won't allow unpleasant thoughts to become what? Dominant. So that the unpleasant thoughts will not dominate our thinking. So remember, we are in control of the situation.
That's right.
So we don't let outside influences control how we think inside.
Praise God. Yeah.
So therefore, we must be in balance.
Yeah.
And in truth, yes. Now we want to, and the reason that these things are coming up because as we move, as the end of time moves up on us, we're going to start seeing outward displays of unruliness, and we must be prepared to address it in the appropriate manner.
That's right.
You cannot address it if you get into your what? Passions. If the impulses from without can stir up your passions, then you will find yourself being a contributor to an unpleasant situation. So you must be in control. We must practice self-control. Okay. Come on here.
And you know, Lee, I'm gonna just speak in this moment.
Yes.
I saw exactly what you did.
Praise God.
And I was dealing with myself standing here saying, you gotta calm down. The eagles in here trying to get stirred.
Yeah. That's right.
From the moment I walked in this door,
Yes, right. That's right.
and I said, we gotta calm these eagles.
That's right.
And I'm glad to see you, which I knew you would. And that's about it.
Right.
And a lot of us might not have picked it up.
Right.
However,
Right.
praise God for you.
That's right. Praise God for you. See, that's the whole piece. That's the piece. Well, the whole thing is that we must become more aware of our surroundings. We got to watch what we walk into. Because, see, you can walk into an unpleasant situation, and it can affect you where you become unpleasant.
Yes.
See, that's why I remember he gave us a warning. When you see trouble, go the other way.
That's right.
Don't go in it. Because when you walk into it, you can become a product of it.
That's right.
So we're trying to practice the lessons that we are being taught to give us so that we can experience Allah's protection. See, you know, when you say Allah is our protection, our guide, well, you know, we must be in a certain state.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We can't fight his protection.
That's right.
So what we're trying to learn to do is become aware of what of how to make sure that we ensure upon ourselves his protection as much as we possibly can.
That's right, sir.
Because these are the times.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
These are the times. Come on, yeah.
We have to watch the little things.
Yeah, Lord.
See, it's the little things
Yes, brother.
that they'll get stirred up.
Yes,
The little things.
yes, yes,
We had some back-to-back little things that
yes,
walked in,
yes,
you know. You gotta watch.
yes, yes. Because, you know, remember, the spirits that cause disruption are still present.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And they're just waiting to see who is the one that it can be, who is most receptive to that way of thinking.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we gotta make sure we keep in mind. Remember, this is a what kind of movement?
Holy in the Bible.
That's right, it's a thought movement, meaning that we're dealing with what? Thoughts. And thoughts are what? Things.
This is everything. Yes, sir.
They're things. And we got to make sure that we are able to deal with those things that come from thoughts that can latch themselves onto our thinking. Thoughts are things that think. And so what we want to make sure we're doing is that we are trying to enter into an area where we can be able to say what to those thoughts?
Away from
Away from me.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to think like that. Come on.
You know, I was just thinking when you said that, but and the word that came to mind was knowing how to deal with those thoughts in a righteous way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because those thoughts are things, but at the same time, I have to learn how to deal with them in a righteous way.
Yeah.
Because if I don't deal with them in a righteous way, I can be a contributor
Yeah.
to those thoughts.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Come on.
I wanted to say that, you know, my way of dealing with the situation that's created around me is to keep the prophet in the front.
Right.
You understand? When you see wrongdoing, you go to him and let him explain to you why wrongdoing happened, which I had been studying, and I came up with a subject I would like to
Not
bring
now.
up for a minute.
No, not now. Go ahead and finish your statement based on what you were talking about.
Yeah, basically, I just wanted to say that was something that I had overcome.
That's good.
And the only way I overcome, I had they in front of me.
That's good. That's good. I like
'Cause
that.
I can't let self going. You carry away with it. But I must go to him, my father.
That's right. That's right. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought it out like you did. That was very timely.
Yeah, before I make a decision.
Yeah. That's very timely. I like the way you did that. That's what we do. And look, what we're going to do today, we're going to go right into the Koran. Because we want to see what we can draw from this experience. See, not only is Jesus asking for entry, but we're seeing or we're listening or we're being privy to the response that he is being given. But as you know, he had to make a beseechment to come into this what? To enter into this what?
Sacred school.
Yeah, the sacred school, but the sacred school is a what?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a thought. The sacred school is a thought. We today have entered into what? A thought. We're in this type of thought, and in this thought that we're presently in, or we're trying to get in harmony with, is a thought that does what?
Elevation.
It does. The position is there to elevate you. But what else does it do? So say so I can hear you. Say it. Don't be afraid to say it. If it's on your mind, say it. Think. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. We're trying to absorb the significance of coming into a what kind of place? A holy place, a sacred place.
Amen.
So as we enter, we're trying to grasp just what that feels like. To enter into a holy place. That means in the place that we are attempting to enter, we are leaving what outside? The world. That means you have to leave one world and enter into what? Another world. A world that is based on divinity. And developing your powers of divinity. So you must be in a what? You must be in a what? For you to enter out from this world into this world, you must be what?
Conscious.
Humble, yes, that's a good word. What else?
In the state of salvation.
In a state seeking salvation. That's good. In a state seeking salvation. That's good. That's good. That's real good.
Harmonious.
Yeah, it's got to be harmonious. But we're responsible for the harmony. See, the harmony is not just going to come on its own. We are created, so therefore we must do what? Create the harmony.
That's it. What about reality,
Reality will present itself as we seek salvation.
How about being in rhythm?
You got to be in rhythm. Being in rhythm is being in what? Harmony. And we must create harmony. Come on.
We have to learn to love
Okay. Yeah.
instead of hate.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. All right, so let's go.
Well, that's something I understand I want to bring up.
But if it's
It's
right
concerning
there.
what I just said.
Okay, but
What I just said.
right.
Love,
Huh?
love. It's concerning love, what I just said, love instead of hate.
Okay, but look, can you just hold it?
Yes, sir.
Just hold it. And just don't let me fail to remember to call on you before I leave the podium. Okay? Just beckon to me and I'll remember. It's not long, is it?
No, it's concerning love instead of hate.
Okay. But I'm asking, what's the length of it? So I know how
From
much.
the length of the time of the birth up to the.
No. What's the length of time that you need to impart it? A couple minutes?
2 minutes, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Trying
Okay,
to
2
get
minutes.
point across.
More, can you hold 2 minutes for me? I got 2 minutes set aside for Brother Jackson. 2 minutes. Okay. The divine instruction from the Holy Prophet, chapter 13. Life and works of Jesus in Egypt among the Gentiles. Jesus was Elihu and Salome in Egypt, tells the story of his journeys. Elihu and Salome praise Allah. Jesus goes to the temple in Heliopolis and is received as a pupil. We want to make sure that we keep that in mind.
Right.
Jesus went there and he was received as what? A pupil. Meaning he didn't come in acting like he was going to teach somebody something.
Right. That's right.
He was humble.
He was humble. He came in willing to do what?
Learn.
Learn.
Yes, sir.
Come on, baby.
That's the same as the student.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So back then it was pupil.
Yes. Yes. But pupil and student are interchangeable.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're synonymous. But he was entering into this sacred school, and he didn't come, even though he was who he was, he didn't come in acting as if he knew everything.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And that takes a lot. It takes a lot for look, we come in contact with a lot of things, but we read a lot of stuff, many of us do. And we read so much information that we have a tendency to feel that we know something. And so when you come into a certain setting, and for a purpose of discussion, sometimes what we do, we think we know more than what we really know.
Right.
And when we come in thinking we know more than what we really know, we feel as though we have to get it all. But one thing about you come into a certain religious setting, or any setting, you want to make sure that you can do what first? Yeah, but you want to be, huh? Humble yourself. Inside, you come into a certain place, you come in there in humbleness.
That's right, yes.
Now you don't, you don't have to do it physically outside, but you do it inside.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm really coming in to see what you all are about. I don't want to talk first. I want to hear what's going on. Because if I speak before the testimony is in, I may not speak what? All right. If I'm talking before I hear what's going on, and I might have some valid information, but wise sinners are what? Other than due season. You got to make sure that what you have to offer is time for. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And exactly what we just talked about in us coming in here.
Yes.
He's coming to a setting.
Yes.
So he needs to come in and join into the rhythm and the harmony of what's already set for, for that particular condition.
Yes.
Because you can be disruptive even if you have some valid information.
Yes. That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. Excellent point. Yeah, but
And when I think about it, I look at what we do now
yes.
when we come into the temple.
Yeah.
We come into the temple and we be still.
Yeah.
We should be still.
Yeah.
To see how the vibration is moving.
Yeah.
To see what the current of thought is.
Yeah.
Even though you may have an answer.
Yeah.
Even to a point where like you may ask a question.
Yeah.
Sometimes the question is not meant for you to answer.
Yeah.
Even though you may feel you can answer.
Yeah.
Sometimes the question is just there for you to marinate and think about it.
Yeah.
So that when the time is right, you will answer. You may not answer it in here.
Right.
You may answer it at home once you really think about it.
Yeah.
Instead of being so quick to want to answer it,
Yeah.
the question is to provoke you for thinking.
Yeah.
So that's when Brother Taylor was talking, I just think about how we should enter into the temple.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. And what you're doing now is what I'm trying to get us to do is to think about how it was for him to enter.
That's what I'm saying. I got you. Yes.
Because remember, he is our pattern.
You better
Yes.
listen.
Yes, sir.
So that means that he went in a certain way, we have to go in that way.
Come on.
That's right.
And then it makes it more realistic.
Mhm.
See, it doesn't put him above you, it starts to help you to see him like you.
Yes, sir.
And that's what he said.
And that's what he said.
I'm just your brother, man.
Yes. And that's all we're trying to do. He said we can be like the him.
Exactly.
So if that's the case, why not experience it now? With the understanding, that's the portion granted to us at this moment. Why not see what it takes to be like him? I mean, why not? Why not experience something that can help you know that what he has said about what I am, all men shall be, and so forth and so on, why not experience some of it now? Well, one of the things we can do is watch how he conducted himself as he walked into a condition. It says, Jesus was, okay. And Jesus came to eat the land and all was well. He tarried not upon the coast. He went at once to Zone, home of Israel, who went to Zone, who 25 years before had taught his mother in their sacred school. Now that was identification for what? Elihu and Salome were what? They were teachers. What kind?
Sacred.
That's sacred because they had their own what? Sacred school. They had their own school that was sacred. And their school was selected. Remember, there were many sacred schools in those days.
Right.
But they were the ones who were selected to have the opportunity to do what?
Teach.
To teach who?
Love.
Yes, but to teach who?
The mothers
The
as
The
well
mothers,
as
the
the
fathers of
sons.
the long promised sons. They were the ones who were chosen to be a part of the prophecy.
That's right.
Elihu and Salome, two very important names that we need to remember.
That's what
Because they were major contributors to Jesus's, that's right, development. That's right. Major contributors. They were major contributors to, of course, Mary and Elizabeth. Because they had to teach them. And they had to teach them about their son. You are mothers of long promised sons. You are the mother of purity. You are the mother of love. And you must sit there what?
So,
On what?
right.
With what?
Holy
And
zeal.
holy zeal. Now you got to do that. Now for them to do that, they had to be taught. You just don't sit a person on fire with love and holy zeal and you don't know what you're doing. You have to be instructed. These are your instructions because the spirits that you have given birth to, they are unique spirits. And you must be taught in a special way. Because your responsibility, and look, the direction that mankind will go in is solely dependent on how you comprehend what we're trying to teach you. Because we know too, remember, they had lower cells too. And their lower cells were strong too. So now just suppose they had adhered to their instructions. And Jesus and John would have been taught something else. See, I think one thing that we need to make note of, you can start to see the significance of being there no happenings.
That's it.
You will start to see just how this thing starts to take place. And at further along down the line, as we move down the line, we'll see ourselves experiencing some of those things that we did not even know that's what we were experiencing when it was being given to us. But now as we start to commit ourselves, that bud starts to unfold to show the flower. And when that bud starts to unfold to show the flower, you'll start to remember when you were given certain instructions by certain people. You may not even paid attention to it. But as you unfold, you will start to say, oh, you know what? Miss So-and-so said that to me all the time. Or Mr. So-and-so said that to me all the time. And now you start to make the what?
Connection.
That's what I like, the connection. You start to make the connection. Now, as that connection starts to be made, your purpose is even more revealed to you. And everything that you've gone through, everything that you've experienced, there's no happiness. Come on.
It was prepared.
That's right.
Whether you knew it or
Whether you knew it or not. It was only our choice that made the path difficult. See, it was our choice. And that came from Allah giving us free will.
That's it.
He could have made us do whatever he wanted us to do. He's a great God. But what advantage is that? It to be forced where you got to be made to make the right choice. What about making the right choice because that's your choice? It goes on to say, and now a man grown strong by buffeting of every kind, a teacher who had stirred the multitudes in many lands. Meaning he was buffeted, he was what? Knocked about in what? Challenged. That's right. Went through all kinds of experiences. Because they say of every kind. Come on, bro.
I think we skipped one.
No, I did that. No, this is just a sermon.
Okay.
Yeah. Buffeting of every kind. That means you got to do what? Take something. You got to take something. Or you got to learn how to what? Take something. You got to learn. So you got to learn how to be humble. You got to learn how to think.
That's it. That's it.
We got to be taught how to think.
That's right.
And we have to learn how to, we have to be taught what to think about. Because we didn't even know that whatever we think about has the potential to create the condition that we're going to experience in our lives. Come on, baby.
I just don't want to take for granted that. So you gotta learn how to take something.
Yes.
And that can be kind of broad, so to speak.
It is, bro.
Learn how to take something, learn how somebody's attitude.
You got to take something. That means everything that you're going to be confronted with. Not only attitude, love.
Yeah, and know how to react to
That's
it.
right.
You better believe it.
You got to learn how to do it.
Yes.
Don't you know, some people experience love from a person and they look at it as being weakness.
Yes, sir.
And they take advantage of that. Person that's too nice.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to deal with that. You got to learn how to identify that. See, these are not things that you just go take for granted that you know how to do, because we are truth and what?
False.
What? Strangely mixed. And on top of that, we've accepted false teachings. So you got to learn to make some distinctions.
Yes.
So you got to be taught. It says, Enoch and Salome heard his story with delight. They lifted up their eyes to heaven and said, Our Father God, Allah, that now thy servants go in peace, for we have seen the glory of Allah. Look at that. They lifted up their eyes to what?
Heaven.
And then what did they say?
Our Father God.
That's right. They lifted up their eyes to heaven. And then they said, what? Our Father, God, Allah. So that means you addressed Allah after you did what? Lift up your eyes. To where? Heaven. Which is what?
State of mind.
Come on, man. So for us to even employ Allah for any of His assistance, we must first of all see Him in the state of mind known as what?
Heaven.
Heaven. You got to lift Him up. And they're not necessarily just talking about these eyes.
No, sir.
That's
No, sir.
Okay? So let's not venture off into those areas. No, you know. Think about it being thought. Always consider the fact. You must think about thought, because man is what? Thought. Come on, my brother.
So, I mean, just to add to that, if I'm in the right thinking.
Yeah.
They're lifting their eyes is symbolic to
Yes.
ascending.
Yes,
They
yes,
are
yes,
raising
Yes.
their thought.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's not like they looking down.
No.
They raising it up.
Yes. Yes.
They're trying to ascend. They know that Allah is an ascension in your way of thinking.
Yes. 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 Because look, when we go up, this don't go,
No.
because this is still earthbound.
Exactly.
So that means something is going without this. When I lift when I'm trying to ascend, this ain't going.
Yes, right.
So what's going?
No.
It's still going.
You know, Brother Lee, I often think about forget the flesh
Yes.
and go into mind,
That's right.
into the land that flesh sustains.
Yes.
See, and I think about when we lifting up, when we going into the unseen
Yes.
with this physical
Yes.
this physical
Yes.
flesh, these
Yes.
physical eyes.
Yes.
We going to, some may look at it as the unknown,
Yes.
but we're raising ourselves. We're forgetting this.
Yes.
We got to allow this to hold this spirit shackled.
Yes.
Our thoughts, our minds are raising up.
Yes.
And then so I think about that because that was a very interesting part when he told us, forget the flesh.
Yes.
And I never remember, and I said, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
and go into the land of the mind of fleshless things.
And go with my
into the land of fleshless things. And then he
what
explained
things
to
were
him.
made of God. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Come on.
The prophet is blessing us so much.
Yeah.
Where he's teaching us about death.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's telling us about things that we don't know. But if we let the world tell us,
Yeah.
it's a sad moment.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
It'll never be a sad moment when you get death.
Yeah. It is.
Because you're moving on.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. You know, so the mental picture is Heliopolis was a school of thought. Jesus asked to be permitted to enter into this school of thought. Now that's very important to note, because that shows that he was willing to do what? Learn. To be taught from that way of thinking.
Yeah.
See, that was a certain thought that was what was taught in Heliopolis.
Right.
And that was sacred. And anybody couldn't get there because it was very difficult to be comprehended by men who was what? Earthbound. If you was earthbound, no finite mind could comprehend things infinite.
Right.
I gotta check you out before you come in here.
Yeah.
Because if you come in here thinking finitely, you're gonna bring some of those finite thoughts with you. And you know, finite, when your finite thinking does not balance with infinite thinking. Because it's two different levels.
Yes. Yes.
And there's no rhythm to it. Because
None.
one is murky and the other one is
Yes.
fine.
Yes.
So it's going to be a conflict.
Babe, one takes you up,
Yes.
one takes you down.
Yeah.
It's going to be a conflict.
So now you have to determine, do I really want to go up? That's your determination, and that's, again, the gift of free will. How high do you really want to go? That's why when he asked us, do you think your condition can be better? That's a powerful statement. That's a powerful statement. Because if you say yes, then you have no limits to how far you can go. As long as you think your condition can be better. You ain't got to keep doing the same thing. Because I think I can do better than this. And thought is what? The cause of it all. So you start to take yourself up. And once you start to go up, you start to see certain things. What do you see? Oh, I don't like the way that looks. I don't like the way that looks. I have identified that. I don't like the way that looks. Because you're starting to climb. Right. Now that does not make you better than anybody. Because you're coming from down there yourself. But it makes you able to identify, not having a desire to return.
Exactly.
You're trying to go back there.
You learn what it breathes.
You learn what it, and you see it.
You see it.
That's right. You see it. You see it. And you see what it breeds, and you see the consequences and the conditions that exist that come from what it's breeding. And that helps you. I ain't trying to be like that. One thing to be like that when I don't know no better, but once I have been introduced to the truth, I can make a real, change. That's right. That's right. Make a change. That's right. Goes on to say, and we have talked with him, the messenger of love, and of the covenant of peace on earth, goodwill to men. So what came with the messenger of love?
Peace on earth.
Yes,
A covenant.
a covenant.
A covenant.
That covenant is a what? Agreement.
A divine agreement.
A divine agreement. Yes. The messenger of love brings with him the agreement that will bring about what?
Peace on earth.
Peace on earth. That's it. That's the message.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in that covenant are the laws
Yes.
that will govern
Yes.
that event.
But you must agree.
Yeah, to accept.
That's right. That's right. Praise the Lord.
See, the covenant is here, just like the covenant that we had.
That's right.
But we must agree to it. Other than that, it's just a covenant. It has no, we have not given, see, we are the ones who infuse life into a covenant. We infuse life into a covenant once we agree with it.
Come on.
Once you accept it, you now give it life. To do what? Live in you. But until you do that, it's just a covenant that you can easily memorize. But it has no life. You give it life because you are a creator. Go ahead.
And so, when you accept the covenant, you must hold it.
Yes, yes, you must.
See, oftentimes, especially earthly, we break covenant.
We break covenants. That's right. That's right.
We start out all right, and when you get to a certain point, if we feel like now you let your carnal nature come into play,
Yes.
where now you thinking it's just like two people have an agreement to do something,
Yeah.
and then the next one want to say, well, I can give a little bit more out of this,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to do
Yeah.
as much as I said I was going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you done broke your agreement. You done
Yeah,
broke the
that's
covenant
right.
that we made.
That's right. That's right.
And that's why you have people in court.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Well, we like to break this covenant, but carnal men will break it
Yes.
if they are not practicing
Yes.
and purifying themselves to hold the thought.
That's right. That's right.
See, Jesus, what you just read, Jesus was a messenger of
Yes.
love.
Yes. Yes.
A messenger. What did he say? The prophet is an angel to us
That's right.
because he carries the message.
That's right. That's right.
Jesus was carrying the message
That's right.
of love
That's right.
everywhere he went.
That's right. That's right.
And he had to hold it, and he did hold it.
That's right.
Peace on earth and goodwill to men.
That's right.
And he was told us to do the same
Yeah,
thing.
that's right. That's right. That's
So
right.
he held, and that's what we have to do.
That's
But when
right.
we don't, we've broken the covenant.
We've broken the covenant. That's right. That's right. See, that covenant was introduced to us a long time ago.
Yes. Yes.
Come on, my brother. Come on, baby.
I
Yeah.
was thinking of the covenant, and us as people, we broke the covenant.
Yeah.
Breaking the covenant got consequences.
Yes.
Since maybe was one of the consequences of us breaking the covenant.
That's right.
That's
Yes.
why I'm not mine.
That's right.
That's right, Moses.
That's right.
Praise God.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
You know, I was just thinking, you know, and you said it's just a covenant. I mean, not just a covenant, but it's a covenant.
Yeah.
But we give it life.
Yeah.
And if we don't accept the covenant,
Right.
that has nothing to do with the covenant.
No.
It has something to do with us.
Right.
So it's just like the divine conscience of my law.
Right.
There we go.
They are the laws of the organization,
Right.
but we give it life
That's
by
right.
living it
That's right.
in our actions, words, and our deeds.
That's right.
If not, they are still the laws,
Right.
but we're not living it, so we don't reap the benefits
Right.
from it by not living it.
Yeah.
Not talking it,
Right.
but living it.
Right.
Because that's what will govern
Right.
this movement and this organization.
That's right.
So then and I often hear, I think I've been thinking about it, when the prophet said, I've come to take away all excuses. Because you're either doing it
Oh, you're not.
or you're not.
Right.
And all you have to do is look at the reward, look at the benefit, look at the condition you find yourself in, and ask yourself, are you truly doing it?
Right. Right.
I mean, and then when you said that, it's like, he left it here for us.
Right.
And you said, it was, the choice is ours.
Right.
And we have to fight ourselves to do it,
Right.
like it was said. Because our carnal nature will fight against it.
Right.
But if we want it
Right.
bad enough,
Right.
we will do what we have to do to make it happen.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's
See,
right.
a thought, yes, that's what it is. It's a thought. But to have that thought live,
Come on.
you must impregnate it with desire, with action. You gotta put some life into it.
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Because if you don't put no life into that thought, it's just there. A thought that you talk about sometimes about it, but you ain't did nothing about it.
Come on.
But if I really wanna see what that thought can really do, I got to give it some life.
You gotta will it.
You got to.
You know, that's what makes it possible to
The
act.
action of the Holy Breath, that's
You
right.
gotta will it.
You gotta will it. Make it live.
Yeah, there we go.
I wanna do better. It's not just enough to wanna do.
Come on.
You gotta put that want into motion, into action. That, you know, people say a lot of times about how people can heal themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
That's right.
But you gotta take that thought that it takes and you gotta give it life.
Yes, it is.
That's it.
You know, you just not going just because you may want it. You may not be to a point where you can just say it and it's done. You may have to put some work in.
Yeah, 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 you have to.
Come on,
At least try.
you got to, Mom. You got to. You got. You know what's funny? You brought that word up. I read something this past week, and they were focusing on that word "try." You know, and they were saying in the article that I read, you have to be very careful about that word because that word can give you an excuse of not succeeding.
Come on. Yes.
So you got to be very particular when you use that word. You know? But I hear what you're saying. I'm not saying that the word itself is you know, because the prophet talking about we're trying to uplift fallen humanity. But it's how we use it.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like you say, Mo, can you take me to the store? And I say, well, Mo, I'm gonna try. That's not giving me too much certainty. So that's giving me a way out. I should say yes or no. See what I'm saying? So you see how try can become a crutch to prevent us from doing it. Instead of us just saying it, we'll use that word try to give us an easy out. Because I may not want to really do it, but I try. Come on.
And that brings to the thought when we talk about inconstancy.
Yes.
You should beware of irresolution.
Lucia, that's right. And the intent, that's right.
If you intend, do it.
That's right.
That's what he's trying to tell us.
That's
If
right.
not, you're being inconstant.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. It says, and we have talked with him, the messenger of love, and of the covenant of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Through him shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Through him, what?
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. Through him, Emmanuel. Emmanuel is the messenger of love.
Yes.
Emmanuel is Allah in man. Allah is love. So when you reach the point that you are loved, you too represent Emmanuel. Because Emmanuel means Allah in man. There are different levels and degrees in mankind's development. Remember, we are thoughts that are developing. Those thoughts are spirit.
Yes.
a spiritual thought, made in the image and after the likeness of God, who is in fact the thought giver. We are a product of his thinking, with the potential that he has. Now we can't be him, but we go back to him, the original thought. And we allow, then we are one with him. We return to the source from which we came as a thought. Yeah.
You know, as you just said, there are different levels of man's development. And what the prophet is doing in our literature is showing us that.
Yes.
He talks about prophets.
Yes.
He talks about masterminds.
Yes.
He talks about sages.
Yes.
He talks about sacred teachers.
That's right. That's right.
They're all at different levels of development
That's right.
as man on earth.
That's right. That's right.
So he's showing us what these all these possibilities of our being able to show the attributes that we have within ourselves.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So there are different levels.
That's
And
right.
we talk about it every time we open the book.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Because, like, remember, and it's important that you remember that, because as man unfolds,
Is that it's God?
God.
God unfolds. That means the next level you see Allah from a different point of view. But for you to see him from that point of view, you must be developed to that particular state.
Yes.
You can't pretend to see Allah because you want to be in a conversation with somebody and you want to present yourself as being intelligent. See, that ain't, once you start to see Allah, once he starts to reveal himself to you, you find out what the book says, why sentences are uttered in due season. Just don't talk about it, because it's not to be talked about.
That's right.
But the talker wants to talk. Yeah, the talker wants to make himself appear to be more advanced than he is. But what the talker does not understand is that there are those who recognize just talk. Because just talk has a certain rhythm to it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not just a talker, you will be able to pick up the rhythm of a talker. Because a talker speaks with emptiness. His words are empty. They don't move you. They stir you. They can stir your passions, but they don't move you. And remember, this is a movement. You move in accord with what? The thought. Whose thought? The thought of the prophet.
That's
It says, the council, no, yeah, thanks. And Jesus stayed in Zone many days, and then went forth into the city of the sun, that men called Heliopolis, and sought admission to the temple of the sacred brotherhood. So in Heliopolis, there was what? Of sacred brotherhood. Now, brotherhood is a representation of what? Unity, okay, yeah, okay. Unity pertaining to a certain thought. Exactly. A brotherhood, once they have accepted a certain thought, becomes protectors of that thought. He tells us, protect I, the prophet, in the temple. Who do you think he's talking to? He ain't talking to everybody. He only talking to the ones who have accepted. The brotherhood. And just because you have a fez on your head,
Come on,
a nationality card in your pocket,
come on. Listen,
and you pay your taxes and your dues,
listen.
do not make you a part of the brotherhood.
That's right.
Don't ever think that.
Mm.
Don't ever think because you may present some of the same outside manifestations of a certain stage of development, and that in itself needs to be questioned.
Mm.
You know, never think that the brotherhood is automatically given to you. It ain't like that.
No.
Please don't even, just because you join does not make you a part of the brotherhood. There are stages in your development that brings you into the inner circle.
That's right.
Come on, man.
And one thing about this thing when you're speaking about it is that most of the time we don't even know
That's right.
what the brotherhood is consists of.
That's right. The brotherhood is protected.
And how can you believe that you are part of it when you really are not clear what the brotherhood, what constitutes the brotherhood?
That more. You're not even clear to what constitutes a brother.
Yeah. Come on.
We still haven't learned what it is to be a brother. So until you learn that, how can you be a part of the brotherhood?
Right there. Every time you walk in this temple, you got a right brother.
That's, ain't that the truth? And see, because what we're trying to do, so that we don't get too far down the road thinking that we're something that we're not, is to remove the fallacy.
That's right. Yeah.
See, this is not just, see, if you don't remove the fallacy, you'll think that you can just join and automatically these things are given unto you. There are even some who say that they have earned the name faithful. And they ain't been in here a month. Come on, man. Come on, okay.
By the prophet, they seek you first.
That's what he's saying.
Seek something.
That's right. You got to seek it first. That's right. You coming in from out there in here, and your mindset, you may not be ready to seek heaven first. You may still be in search of a way to get that from in here. Because after all, you hear people talking here, and they sure sound intelligent. So maybe I can learn that. I can get this to work out there. Come on here.
Just real fast.
Yeah.
You know how important our question is.
I know.
Our question is if you humble. Our question is will let you know exactly where you are at.
That's right. That's right. Funny you say that, because I was thinking about that.
That ain't fun. Yeah. But that's part of the brotherhood.
That's a part of the brotherhood. That's a part of the brotherhood. See, the brotherhood has a certain language.
Yes.
The brotherhood has a certain way of doing things. The brotherhood they hold a certain thought because they never want to do anything that will shame the brotherhood.
That's right. We will break the harmony.
Or break the harmony.
Brotherhood holds the harmony.
That's right. The brotherhood
No matter what we go
it don't matter.
we keep the harmony. Hold on the brotherhood.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And remember, you have to be accepted into the brotherhood.
Yes.
Jesus had to be accepted into the brotherhood.
Right now.
You have to be accepted. I have to be accepted.
Yes, that's right. And you get accepted when it's your time.
When it's your time.
Oh.
And you're not the one who appoints your
You
time.
do that. Oh,
Think I'm ready. Because I'm ready.
all the time. All the time.
So what we're saying is 30 years of being here don't.
It don't constitute anything for 30 years.
Okay.
That's it.
Because sometimes we have a tendency to put our
How much long
long
you been in the
around.
job? Yeah.
30 years don't constitute the brotherhood is divine.
Right.
And it's Allah.
It's not measured
That's
by
what
time.
place.
That's right.
It's not measured by time.
This
That's
goes
right.
on.
That's right.
All you do is tell you keep coming back.
That's all we can
That's
do.
all.
So it says, and Jesus stayed in Zone many days, and then went forth into the city of the sun that men call Elypus, and sought admission to the temple of the sacred brotherhood. So that lets you know again. You gotta seek what? Admission. Okay. All right. The council of the brotherhood convened, and Jesus stood before the Hierophant. He answered all questions that were asked with clearness and with power. So as you can see, at this moment, Jesus is not a part of the brotherhood.
No.
Because he has not even gained admission. He's right now asking if I may be allowed to come into your sacred school. That's showing humility.
Yes.
It says, the Hierophant exclaimed, Rabboni of the Rabbinate, why come you here? Your wisdom is the wisdom of the gods. Why seek for wisdom in the halls of men? Now listen what the Hierophant said to a person that's seeking admission. What did he do? What did the Hierophant do? What did he just do? He acknowledged
Jesus
for who he was. That the brotherhood that he was yet to be a member of, he was acknowledged by the highest ranking official in the order that you are who you are. Why are you even coming here? So look what Jesus is doing. He's humbled himself in such a way that he's willing to come into a lower, well, I won't say lower, but and I don't want to use beneath it.
No.
But he's coming into a slower rhythm. Maybe that's right.
No.
But anyway, he's coming to a school that he's already far exceeded. And he's been acknowledged as that. Man, your wisdom is you are the Rabboni of the Rabbinate. Do you know what a Rabbinate is? The Rabbinate is?
Official Jewish.
It's a high officials in the Jewish order. And the Rabboni is a high priest. And you saying to us, you're coming in here as a high priest of the high priest. How in the world, what you even want to come in here for? Because I'm acknowledging to you that we recognize that you are who you are. Your wisdom is the wisdom of the gods, far exceeding ours. Think about what he's saying.
Yes.
Come on.
Is that the same as saying you overqualified?
That's what he's saying, Mo. What your wisdom is the wisdom of the gods. Why seek you wisdom here? Come on here.
I'm just summing it up in this way for my comprehension is why Jesus heard that, Jesus wanted to still measure his proof of his messiahship. Yes, I have these credentials. Just like you use as an analogy of the coming to a job. But I gotta know that I fit.
That's right.
I've been through all these things.
That's right.
Now I'm coming to this highest order.
That's right.
To see if I measure up to all of those.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Oh, you talking about humility?
Yes, that's real humility. Because remember, he hesitated even about, he had to make the commitment to give his life a will and sacrifice.
Yeah.
He's been through that before. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
But I gotta see.
I got you. He's really saying, for me to know, I gotta what?
Be what?
It's not.
It's not praise God, Yes, when you say it, like you said, in a slower rhythm. Now, because you're talking about the learning of the gods, you get his wisdom from there. Now you're talking about the halls of man.
Yes.
The halls of man. Now I see the slower rhythm. Now that's C down, but the next next question is gonna answer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The next sentence gonna answer.
Yeah. Come on, sis.
Oh, it's not. I was just also noticing something, the plural of gods,
Yeah.
more than one,
Yeah.
more than one wisdom,
Yeah.
different wisdom,
Yeah.
different knowledge and
Yeah.
stuff. So they really thought of him being, high knowledge,
Yeah.
because his wisdom just didn't come from one place,
Yeah.
And we know we're talking about different creators.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Cool. That's good. Cool. Brother, what's your name, bro? Yes, sir. 480.
I would say that Jesus himself thought he was incomplete. If you don't have the higher, you don't know the lower. You only have the higher.
I hear you.
He was coming to complete himself.
Yeah. I hear that. Come on, man.
I was just thinking about the challenge.
Yeah.
See, when someone explains to you that you have these type of skills, and we often you been saying about being humble.
Yeah.
But you gotta remember, when someone say you got this type of information,
Right.
that can also be a challenge.
Yeah.
And how you respond
Yeah.
to that challenge,
Yeah.
because you could say, yeah, I am like that.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
how you respond, because
Yeah.
you gotta remember he's sitting in front of the council.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there were tests that he
Yeah.
they put in front of him.
Yeah.
There were tests.
Yeah.
Just by his way of being responded, his expression.
Yeah.
To say, oh yeah, you do know he like that.
Yeah.
So, what is it? So I think, and when I thought about it, when I see, they could have been reading all that.
Yeah.
But he stayed where he was at
Yeah.
to allow them to know that he was sincere about what he was trying to do.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. That's right. That's right. It says, and Jesus said, it says, the Hierophant exclaimed, Rabboni of the remedy, why come you here? Your wisdom is the wisdom of the gods. Why seek for wisdom in the halls of men? And Jesus said, that's a good point. That's a good point that you just made. How do we know that wasn't a test? How do we know that that wasn't a intent to appeal to vanity?
Man, come on, man.
Let's see how you're going to respond.
Come on.
Okay, that's it. That's a nice. Yeah. It says, why seek for wisdom in the halls of men? And Jesus said, in every way of life I would walk. In every hall of learning I would sit. The heights that any man has gained, these I would gain. That's in the quote with Brother Porter Eagle.
Yeah.
Because when he's making these statements, he's saying, I want to what?
Challenge myself.
Yes, but I want to what? I want to learn, and also I want to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be what I know,
Yeah. It says, what any man has suffered, I would be. That I may what? Know the griefs, the disappointments, and the sore temptations of my brother man. That I may know just how to support those in need. That's a statement.
It is.
Yeah, that's a statement.
So that goes back to what we're talking about, we have to be.
What we know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, here comes a beseechment that comes from Jesus. I pray you, brothers, let me go into your decimal crypts, and I would pass the hardest of the tests. He asked humbly, and then he stated, and I'll pass them all.
Pass them.
Just let me in. It says, the master said, take then what? The vow. Now we want, for you to come in here, you gotta take a vow. What's the word vow mean?
It's not in confidence. Oh.
Yeah, like a oath. Regardless of who I may recognize you as being, you come in here, you gotta take a vow. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Praise
That's right. That's right. Hey, Mo, and the thing is, you don't really know what the vow is,
That's it. Come on.
but you got to take it. Suppose when you get ready to take it, if you get ready to take it, or if it is even a vow that exists at all. But you know this, in sacred schools of thought, there is a vow that you take. That's proven in here. In this particular school of thought, you had to take a vow. Goes on to say, again the master spoke, he said, the highest heights are gained by those who reach the greatest depths. Some of us have reached our depths, and now we ascend to go higher. And you shall reach the greatest depths. See, for us to go up, we got to go down.
That's right.
We have to go to this point to get to this point. We got to, because in going here, we do what? Everybody's depth may not be the same, but it's still a depth nonetheless. It's what you need.
Right.
But you go there to gain what you need so that you will what? Know. And you got to be what you know. You talk about helping somebody else, you got to be able to went through something yourself. It says, the guide then led the way. And in the fountain Jesus bathed. And when he had been clothed in proper garb, he stood again before the herald. Now before he proceeded, he had to do what? He had to take a bath.
Bathe, cleanse himself.
He had to cleanse himself. And don't nobody know whether you bathe but yourself. Okay, can I get 2 minutes? All right, you got your 2 minutes, Mark. You got your 2 minutes.
Okay, well, I want to speak on the subject of love instead of hate.
Come on, man. Come on.
Love instead of hate.
Yeah, come on.
So basically, I'm saying at the time of his birth, that was the humanity, the harmony.
Okay.
Time at birth. Okay, now, established by law, 1928, according to the questionnaire.
You got a minute
And it says, it was founded in the foundation of 1913. Proper state learn love instead of hate. He said it's a new era time now. So what that did to me, he really took the burden off of me for 40, 50, 60 years. Because I was always hating the European for what they done to us in the past. So if he's telling me that now, it's new era time now, love instead of hate, so I have to love. And I can't hate it no more. So I'm trying to figure out what he's saying. He's saying your way what went on in the past with you, and it's a new era time now. So he's saying learn to love instead of hate. So the question is, but it opened me up because I got to understand that I can relieve myself from the past.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, relieve me from the past.
Okay.
We need to cut it off.
I learned to love his name. Okay. Praise
And
God.
that's what I'm trying to do after so many years of being distorted with the information
Yeah.
that what we went through.
Okay. All right. That's a good point. Okay. So may I borrow
Right.
from you one of the statements that you just made,
Yeah.
according to what the prophet said.
Yeah.
Learn to love.
So,
That's how we flow.
but that's
Okay, yeah, but let's close like that now, because that's a good point you made. But the whole closing message is what?
Learn to love instead of hate.
Praise the Lord.
Peace.
All right.
It's on.
It's on.
We want to thank our this time we're going to go the H. Harris, man, the governor, Washington, D.C. Proclamation. I do ask that you steel yourself and read the call.
Islam. First, I give praise to Allah and the Prophet of Juali. I give honor to each and every one of you, and I give honor to everything Prophet of Juali has brought for the uplifting and fall of humanity. Prophet wants all models and governments ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the street. We offer peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your card in European that causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We offer love, truth, peace, and freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive a reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their cars, but cease wearing their turban or fez and return to the state of how the prophet found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Juali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order of Prophet Noble Juali. Peace.
Peace. Once again, Islam.
Islam.
Now we're going to go to part of our Sunday school. It's the business part.
Allah, Father, universe,
Father, love,
Father, love,
truth,
peace, freedom,
and justice.
and justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my